probably a lot closer. It feels like it's right next to me, you know? What's in the box? Oh, Kyle, you're cute. Oh yeah, I forgot I was in the box. Hello! Oh, now I'm just stuck. I'm a jack in the box that's stuck in a box. No! Oh, this was not a great idea. I can climb up massive things. I got a grapple. Can I grapple anything from here? There's a grapple over there. Yes! Wait! No, I jumped into another fucking box! Okay, now I'm out. Whew! Yeah, that was well timed. Do paladins fly often? This guy don't even know what paladins do and don't do. What a jabroni. You picture Spirit as a trader with giant 80s mobile phone. Like, actually like the brick. Hello! I'm on the bus! That was the New Order England song? Okay, fair enough. I won't skip. I'll try and remember when I resume songs to not skip it and to listen to it, because we're singing for England, England. We're singing for the sandwiches. Something like that. I definitely thought you were going to wait and see on that one. Okay, fuck it. You're a Zamboni jabroni. Ooh, that's sexy. Can I just shoot that down? I did! I can! Oh wow. Hey, I used logic. Can we get a minus stents? The first time ever. Over here. I found it. Hey, motherfucker. Oh wait, I don't want to kill him. He was a good guy. Sandwiches in England in one song? Yeah. It's been new how to run. Thanks, Kyle. It does nothing, but it makes me feel better. Wait. Oh, place the pieces to repair the irrigation. Repairs? I'm a repairman now? Fuck you, pumpkin. Huh, guess it. Get out your bed. Get out of bed, it's late o'clock. You little young'un thinking you can avoid it too? Maybe you can. Maybe you need more time to grow. What about you? Are you dead? Eh. Whoa. That's how you make pumpkin squash. Fucking get some. Okay. Smashing pumpkins. How did I not think of that? Thank you, Kyle. Fucking get some. Okay. One more, guys. Yeah, fucking get in there. What are you doing? I'm trying to fix this place up and you're just driving a car around like an absolute prick. Look what you did.
Oh, thanks, man. Dude, your references are out of control.
They are, Kyle. Your references are out of control. Did they literally stop that car? Look at all the good I've done in this world. All these pumpkins are now because of me. John Barnes' bit is fucking England. I love this. Is like one of the very forgotten World Cup songs. Okay. England. Oh yeah, I was gonna go rob some shit. Hey, Sty, how you doing, dude? Sty's keyword was singing for England. He knew that. He wanted some hype. Oh shit! Leave it out. Whoa! What did I just say? What did I just say? Who's shooting me? Hey!
We caught the cult storing guns at the grain elevator.
Yeah.
Chased them off and took their shit.
Okay.
It's been a tug of war for
You learn you can smash pumpkins in Far Cry 5. Nice. Oh. I'm sorry, lady. But we need to do some science. Okay. So, we are going to turn the music back off now whilst we do some science. Ooh, okay.
You stop right there.
Oh. No, you moved. Oh! No, don't. I'm sorry, puppy. I'm not gonna kill you. Fuck that noise. You're a doggy. I'm just gonna run away. I didn't mean to kill her. She moved into it as well. It wouldn't have even hit her. God damn. Football was a dirty ride in your house. You never got to watch this kid. Oh no. Oh yeah, because it was Jamaican playing for England. Fair enough. And because of that rap, and you know that rap was off the hook, dude. And you're more than welcome, Spirit. I hope you had a lovely phone call. And Beardy, thank you so much for telling me we could just throw shit straight up in the air. That was a good thing to learn. Oh yeah, wait. That's fucking burying a cow. Oi! That doesn't belong to you, does it? Fucking Yogi, come here, you piece of shit. No, don't go that far. Oh, I really need your corpse, please. There it is. Thank you. Now, let me also loot that thing you just murdered. Okay. Now, just beautiful aim, that's all I can say. I want to enter this garage, but... open. Hello? Hello? You haven't made a door to your house, sir. You're an idiot. Did you forget? You're an idiot. Can you hear me? He's going to feel like such a plonker. You haven't got a door. I mean, you got this, but... maybe I can jump on that bin and then jump on the roof. No, get me some. Oh, that looked like... maybe I can just ram this into it. Let me give that a go. Bear on top, bull on bottom. What world we live in? Fuck your fence. Oh, no, okay. Just a rabbit in a costume banging a fake bear? Okay. Oh, I know how I can do this. I just have to zipline. Ow! The fuck? Why would you do that? Why? Who are you? Oh. I didn't run from you, I walked towards you. Are you not dead yet? Okay. She shouldn't have announced herself, she would have had a much better chance. Wow, okay, so, in the world of Far Cry, paint accessories and like rollers and stuff are much stronger than your common pumpkin. Write that down, it probably will be on the midterm. And zippity zoo. Let's get some, you. It's that car I drove over here. I could probably use that now. A rabbit from Famalan, how you doing, bro? No, I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking you. I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. I was driving their bad thing. Oh, I'm not gonna hurt you. Don't worry. Yeah. It went a lot further than I thought it would. I thought it was just gonna die. Man, I love kicking shit on this game. It's fun.
Joseph, but when the shit hit the fan,
oh, this poor guy. He should usually play computer games. Reason real prevail. Plus, I'd rather fucking move than a bear.
Go check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right.
See you later.
There's a piece of moves slice and then leaves it, right? Fun. I think that happens without the exclamation mark, just because BD wrote huh? Chicken kicker. I don't hate chickens. I just enjoy kicking them. Come here. Come here. I can't get that one, okay. You a bad guy? Why would you do that? I want his leather jacket, but they won't let me. Okay, so let's get in the... I'm guessing this is a pussy wagon. I believe that's what they call it. It's so sexual. So... Who just stole that van? What a bastard. Okay. So now we need to do a new mission. So Kettle Cattle Co. is, or the Kellet Cattle Co. is pretty close. Bye. Let's go. What way is it? That way. Let's go. You're slamming a damn Kyle. Thank you very much for that clip. And I mean, I can't really say anything about the title. It's accurate. It's just unfortunate. There's something here. There's something I need to do here. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. Okay. Another lock.
You're able-bodied. I could use a favor.
Sorry, buddy. I'm actually not able-bodied. So...
I can get the damn door unlocked.
It's unlocked. I just walked through it. What an idiot. Okay. Let's figure out how to get the other door unlocked. He's not even mentioning. Hey. That's what I wanted. Oh wait, that's food. Oh, that's gonna rot in his toilet as well. That's gross. Okay.
They're all gone.
Put your book down. I need to talk to your old man.
The rest of them.
The laugh made it 10 times better, thanks. Misleading but accurate titles or specialty. It's an art. It's very much an art. You did to chickens, yeah. I know. I never played. What was it? Fables, but my brother did, and I remember just the whole time just hearing people just go chicken chaser. He cracked me up. I love it.
Things we seen in that jungle. We made a pact that if something like that were ever to happen
Planting in his
in
fridge.
our
That's not a bad
country,
idea.
we'd be ready. Put together quite a collection.
Oops.
Guns, ammo, gear. Called it our freedom fund on account it was going to make sure we stayed that way until the grave.
He hasn't noticed yet. Don't worry. I'm on fire.
Now the only one
I'm trying to listen to his story. Trying to be a good guest. I'm trying to be a good guest. I'm trying to be a good guest here. Can we leave your house? Can we talk outside? Let's talk outside, buddy. Oh, that didn't go well. Oh no, it spread into the... Oh god. Oh god, this is the most out of control fire I've ever seen. Children of a revolution. Now, now. Do 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 do. Good tune, bruh. What's wrong? Why are you laying on the floor?
Hey,
I was being
You
polite.
got
I gave him
strong
meat,
back and good legs.
and
Let me collect
I was
my
listening to his story. Just a little part.
The gear's locked up.
We think we should watch Robin Hood Men in Tights. I mean, we can put it on our list, but I don't think we're going to end up watching that. We could put it as maybe one of the options, but there's a lot more movies I want to watch before Robin Hood Men in Tights. It's not a bad film.
Get myself killed for no good reason. I need your help finding those lighters.
I don't think it was us who started the fire. There's no proof to that. I mean, what fire?
Pick from our stash. I'll be goddamn
touched you
if
on.
I'm gonna let this fucking cult
It's a
burn
fucking
my
cult?
country to the ground.
Why won't they invite us? It's a sex cult.
I'll be damned.
They won't invite us to a sex cult. They won't let me make my own sex cult. What's the point in even being a sex cult leader? I'll read. So what did you want me to do? Collect the lighters. Or I've already got one, so I'm pretty much there. Where does he... Why is your lighter over there? Why is your lighter so far away, old man? Why would he put his lighter there? He can fucking get that himself. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're carrying with that one, whatever this one was. Movie list is too. Movie list is very much too long. We got so many movies on there at the moment. There's over 250 movies on the movie list, I believe, which is a lot. Well, I don't know. I don't know why we can't be a sex cult. I'm trying. I'm genuinely trying for us guys, but I guess it's just harder with legislation nowadays. You know. If we meant to watch, got a replacement laptop. Oh, fucking A, Mojo! Yeah, boy! Oh, I can't wait for you to actually get that booted up, man. We can have Mojo back on movie nights and stuff when he's not obviously streaming himself and that, but we can have Mojo back, guys. We can have Mojo back. Sounds like all the old man in need is fire. I could try and give him some. Boop. Oh shit. I did that thing where I shot this dude. I correctly shot him, but unfortunately he was standing behind him. So I shot him, and it went through to him, which was unfortunate. Probably not so much as that guy. Why has this game got so much fire? This game has a lot of fire. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, we did do him a favour. Plus he's warm. Do you know how cold it gets down in America? America's the coldest country in the world, they say. So you have to be careful. Thanks, Kyle. I need people to know that I'm not just, you know, slacking on this front, you know. Okay. Is he inside the building? Can I get him through there? No, I don't think I can. Oops. Sounds nice. Ah!
We heard the alarm! On our way to help!
Ah! Stop throwing that shit at me! Stop it! Motherfuckers! I've got one ragamuffin. Ah. Where are you? Where are you? Where who shoot me? Ow, motherfucker. La 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 la. This is, oh no 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 no, that's not part of the story. Non-human form. You need armor piercing for that to happen. What was I trying to do? I forgot. Exactly, I don't need no upgrade. Thanks, Carl. I knew you'd get it. I knew you'd get it. Okay. I didn't know I could do that. That's cool. Nope, missed him. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, got him nicely. Oh, are they wearing armor? Oh, fuck me, they are wearing armor. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, yeah, I have shitloads of perk points, I think. I've barely been doing them. I'll do some perk points. I probably have a whole bunch of perk points to put on there as well. And I'm going to be like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Nade or punch him. Okay. Well, before I run in, so first of all, let's actually just, we could throw loads of those in. And let's try and make some stuff first. Oh, I don't have any things that I need. Okay. So... perks. We could also get the key back, actually. The key would help us a lot too. 37 points I got. Let's see what they got then. I haven't done as much fishing recently, but set renegade airdrop. An option to arrive by airdrop when you fast travel to a location. Oh, that sounds fun. Bullets will do more damage to vehicles. Works best with armor piercing ammo. I don't have any of that yet. Someone I can let's reduce. Let's reload aim, switch to some Gs faster. Yeah, reloading takes ages on some guns, we'll do that. Fisher King cleans required? I know, man. Fish will tire more quickly. Also, not, that's actually really good. It also gets flies. I haven't got any flies to use on my things yet either. Damn. I wouldn't mind doing it all into fishing. I already did the first one for fishing. It was good. I enjoyed it. Black market. More ammo and stuff. Ah, yeah, nice. That's not a bad one. Health boost? That's for people who die. So yeah, I'll have a look at it. Auto repair. All vehicles you drive off to repair themselves. Oh, okay. I don't really mind that one as much. Reload aim, switch rifles to sniper rifles. Yeah. Approach vehicle's hood and hold control to make it explode on the next collision. Oh Jesus. It's now quicker to craft items. It could be okay. Unlocks chain melee throw and sidearm takedowns. Oh, okay. Takedown range increased. Switch bows and that fast. Would you like the bows? Melee weapons more sturdy. Reload. Blah blah blah. Okay. Throw back incoming projectiles. I've never seen them anyway. Make less noise when walking. Oh, that one could be good. What's this? Adelaide returns faster after being injured. Oh no, fuck it. Who cares? So, carry more items in your inventory. Up to 5 medkits. Oh, that one could be good. Yeah, actually, we're gonna do that one straight away. Carry more ammo. Okay. Carry more normal incendiary and explosive arrows. Okay. Carry more rifle arrow. Carry more explosives. Aspira, blah blah blah. Okay. So, what should we do? I like that one. I'm gonna get my bow back out soon. I think I like it. Your repair is useful for serve missions like Clutch Nixon's. All right, fair enough. What the fuck was auto repair? No, that's all ammo. Oh, I did like that one as well, though. Make less noise when walking, sprinting, and landing, falling damage or accused. Yeah, I'm going to do that one first. Get to craft items. Might as well do that one. We'll do the auto repair next one. I haven't got to any mission that requires it just as much yet, so hopefully it won't be as bad. So. Oops, something to do that. Oh, okay, some motherfucker over there too. Okay. Oh, he won't go down as quick. Cow? Why do I need to kill the cow? Oh wait, no. I want to free the cow. I wanted you to go fuck up people, not to run away free. I didn't give you your freedom. Stupid cow. Oh, Rocket League scored, no worries, dude. You take it easy. We'll see you soon, Sty. It's been lovely having you, buddy. Oh, she's innocent. Uh-oh. God damn it. Oh, wrong person. God damn it. Oh, hi. Oh, shit. God damn it, fucking knives.
This side's got reinforcements coming in.
Why don't you shoot me? I don't know what there's their issue. I'm just a farmhand. I'm just a farmhand. Hey, I got him with that. Oh shit, you. Oh, I have a good idea. Oh shit. Ah. I have a cool idea if they let me do it. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, they didn't let me do it. Cause, Kyle, if I don't shoot the hostage, can you imagine the terrors they're gonna see around them? It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Punch proof, that's for sure. Apparently I'm not murder proof. We'll get this one day. One day. Okay. You're never gonna find me now. Ha ha ha. Just when you say when you are supposed to stealthily kill animals for mission, they will kill the hostages. Yeah. But hey, who cares, yeah. Just like superhero, got in a chopper, whipped him out. Nice, nice. Oh, not this motherfucker again. Oh shit, all of you.
You're gonna die in agony!
Oh no, I don't want to die in agony.
Dang it! Keep those sinners at bay! Reinforcements incoming!
Fuck. Oh, fire's getting near me.
Reinforcements coming from the west!
Okay, cool, cool. I hope I get out of here alive. I've tried it a few times now, and oh, that's just red. Oh, okay, I see, I see. You have that shit on you, apparently. Hey, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Yeah, boy, you finally did it. Woo! Oh, Star, your teammate flopped. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. That's not cool. You should call them a toe rag. Call them a right toe rag. That'll really hurt them. They'll learn their lesson. Oh, I now can buy a tractor. Righto.
Sin is pervasive. It drives us to do unspeakable acts.
I don't know.
I know the feelings that drive you. I know them intimately.
Because you are them?
But I can help you, Deputy.
I don't like the sound of him.
Wash away these sins.
In a minute, I'm going to talk to him first.
Cleanse your soul. It will
Actually, no, I know what I'm going to do.
and it will be
Good doggy. Good boy.
It will be worth it. My people will come for
I can't talk to anyone because there's a dude in my head talking. Sorry, buddy.
you. Don't fight it. Because the harder you
You can only buy a bouquet. You should play jazz in NYC. I think I should too. I think I should too. I need to get a new hat though. I need a jazz hat. Why are we playing? Why is this music playing? What's going on? Did we just rock and roll?
Good job getting this place back from the cult. Luckily, didn't do too much damage to the farm.
Luckily, because I killed them all.
But they did kill a lot of livestock.
Eh,
Some
what's
of the cows
livestock?
are wandering the fields out back. Think you can bring them to their pen?
That's not what I do.
Just need to spook them a bit.
Nope.
Chuck a rock at them or something.
Nuh-uh.
Give them a slap on the rump.
Nope.
They'll run away from you. But you can
Okay.
use fear
Okay.
to steer them where you want
Nope.
them to go.
Not doing it. I might murder all his cows and then sell them back to them. Right, now what can I rob from their house?
We should have known Joseph's clowns weren't afraid of guns. They got a fixation on our beef.
Everyone has one of these arcades, man. Also, those arseholes look like they kicked 59 pumpkin. Yeah, there might have been a few pumpkins kicked. Bad head smoke, fair enough, hats. It's been lovely to see you nonetheless, buddy. Out, please. Huh. It's behind the shower curtain. I think. Oh, they're drying clothes in here. Okay. Liquor. Welcome, people. Wait, did I miss something? The cult seems less stressful than the news. Yeah. Oh, and hey, hats. Yeah, I didn't realize those hats just come back. Okay, cool. We'll be back later? Okay, nice. Oh, Kellett's keycard. It's consuming for. Oh, unhappy end for everyone. Okay, so what missions we got? We might as well get these cows back. Is that the one? Yeah, we'll do the cows first because we're here.
That's real unfortunate.
Over here. Thanks for showing that again, Kyle. Get back in there! You're running the wrong way, you dildo. Go home, Kyle. Go home. No, you're running the wrong way. Whoa! Oh! What the hell, dude? What the hell? I'm trying not to kill you, Bull. You're probably the prize bull. I'm trying to scare you back in. He lost his prize bull. I don't know where it went. You. Run home. Run all the way home, Daisy. Get. Oh, Jesus. This isn't Wreckfest, Cal. Get in your fucking homes! This is not fucking Red Dead Redemption. There you go. They were just sluts. They were just after the fucking ball, man. Jesus. And then they run straight back out there. What? Capture party incoming? What? Oh, what? What the fuck's happening? No, get the fuck out away from me! Run! Run!
Check your fire. We only need to hit him once.
Damn it! Okay, well it was meant to be a cutscene, but anyway, yeah. Well, the mission was you had to scare them, so you had to like shoot them, but then shooting near them didn't do anything, so punching them seemed to work. Well, Einan, how many times have you herded cows in your life? If you've herded cows many a time, then maybe I'll listen to you here, but if you haven't, then, you know. And you're off now, Beardy, no worries, dude. You have a good sleep, my friend. And thanks for coming by. It's always lovely to see you. And yeah, we will get on Galactic Mining very soon, my friend. Have a good one. Remember we did, got wiped to an because the update, we have to start from scratch. Oh, what, an Overwatch? Oh, you're not going to sleep? Oh, because I was falling asleep with that. Maybe I should just go to sleep, though. Maybe that would be best for everybody. You've herded cows over 100 times? Did you ever try using the assault rifle? You probably should have.
May we stand.
I'm a member of the cult now? Ah, I've been saying all game I wanted to be a member of the cult.
And walk through his gates.
It is always lovely to see you, so yeah.
Eden.
But I'm sure I would have heard the gunshots going off. Maybe they're using silencers like I was, I know.
This one's
Oh,
not
on
clean.
Rust. Ah, okay, fair enough. Bums. Oh, okay. Is it best to herd cows with carrots that are whole or chopped? Assault rifle, Skyhawk. Jesus, I'm teaching you. You used a whip and a horse? You should use an assault rifle. You are missing a beat there.
No, Joseph.
You have to love them, John.
Yeah. Love me,
I'll
you
let
piece
your
of
skin
shit.
Prevent that. Bring that one to me.
Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah. Who's the big dog now? Oh, hugs. Hey, Hill. Give me a hug. Are we family now?
Despite all that you have done,
Are we gonna kiss?
you are not beyond salvation. You're not here by accident or by chance.
No, I was sent here for a
You're here
run
by the
for your
grace of
arrest.
God.
No, the government. They said we need to arrest you.
Gift.
You got a gift for me? Or I've got a
It
gift.
remains to be seen whether you choose to embrace it
We're embracing now, right?
or to cast it aside.
What's my gift? Maybe you should give me more information instead of being a cryptic arsehole.
This one shall reach the atonement,
Yeah.
or the gates of Eden shall be shut to you, John.
Oh shit. Oh, John, no, buddy. Oh. Poor John. He just wants to beat people up. Little sad little eyes. You right, little bitch? Yeah. Okay.
You will confess. Every sin you've ever committed, no matter how
Every?
no matter how small,
No matter how sexy.
I will pull from you.
Oh.
Then we'll see if you're worthy of atonement.
I am not. I've got a carrots and carrot slicing tools, oh no. All my sins? Alright, this could take a while. I once pushed a toy off the table and it broke. It was my toy, but my mum thought my little brother did it. So I let her believe that he did it. He got slapped around the leg. And then I admitted it later, like a week later, because I was feeling guilty. I got clipped around the ear. That's a sin. But I redeemed myself, somehow. I told the truth. There you go.
You scream out your sin, then you'll wear it on your flesh before
That's not Butty, no. That is formerly known as Booty. That is that is Kyle. Butty Booty is Sean. Oh, hey, come on now. Oh. Ouchies. I'm just doing side missions as well. This isn't. I haven't been doing main missions. They just keep coming from side missions. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It was like anti-gravity, but more painful. Wait. Oh. Oh, it's the priest dude. Hey, oh. Why don't you just carry it in a holster, dude?
With me. Didn't go through all this trouble just to lose you now.
Everyone really likes me in this game. I'm starting to get creeped out. 17. Well, at least you have something you're aiming for. Oh, I can pretty much just walk into there, can't I? Ow! Ow! What? There's still more of you? Oh, I thought we were like, they were just doing it all. I thought I didn't really have to do anything, but... yeah. That's true. You can always know, because his name's Green. And he would never change the colour. That'd be very out of character for formerly known as Booty. Just gonna pause it while I take a swig of my drink. Shitty Microsoft Edge is actually preventing me from downloading Chrome. Oh, really? Load any other site. Oh my god, that's hilarious. That's horrible. Keep going. Kill it. Kill Edge. Oh, you should go for a symbol, Kyle. You should make a symbol for a booty. I imagine it would just look like a butt, but a glorious butt.
Shut up, John.
What? I don't hear anyone called John. Get on my way. Oh, god damn it, dude. Don't you know I'm not a great shot? Pregnant cows more intimidated, nice. No shit, that was a terrible idea. That was a terrible idea. I don't want to herd horses. That's true, you do spend a lot of time with me. I don't see why that makes any difference though. Just crazy Kyle. You'll always know him as Booty, yeah. That's cool. That's good to know, Kyle. We'll see if we can arrange that. Crouch, god damn it. You guys are good. For the father! Where are they? Oh, these are my team, right? Where are they? Oh, the bad guys. No, we left. They're good guys, right? Oh, the bad guys down there, okay. Any more scallywags? Hey guys.
No one gets away from John. Maybe
Right.
you'll be the first.
Someone angry over there. Maybe her. Oh yeah, you. Let me help him. So, oh Jesus, you had to do a load of shit just to get it. Right. Oh yeah, it was the priest, I forgot we were with him. So, had to open Internet Explorer through Edge just to load Google site to download Chrome. Damn. Damn man, they really don't want you to have it. Sprite made your Discord name Boovies on Novak's channel, which seems very inappropriate. It does. Should be a butt though. That Jesus butt. Oh, you got Stigmata butt. That sucks. Stigmata butt's the worst. Good guys, bad guys, is it really so clear cut? No, I don't think it is, Inan. I don't think I'm doing any wrong with whoever I'm shooting. Whoever I'm shooting is the enemy. It's just they might have been in our clothes. My rage? I'm not being rageful. I'm being nice and calm, you know? taking it real easy. Having a good time.
You can expect a creepy video from John soon.
Oh, really? What kind of creepy
Over
video?
here, deputy.
Oh, well. What do you want?
I knew it meant trouble when we couldn't reach you. I'm glad the Lord pointed me in the right direction. We got
I
you
know,
back,
right? It'd make
but
a
there's
good,
still others that
you'd
need
make a
our
good
help.
Hollywood
Cult's
movie,
moving
Kyle.
the rest of the prisoners up the road.
I'd call it
They got
Fizzle
Merle too.
versus the people who
Time's
shoots
wasting.
at. I just made that title myself. It's pretty good. It'd have capital
I'll
letters
call
on
in
each
some
of them
our
too.
people.
And
We're
the
gonna
correct
need them
spellings
if
and
we're gonna
stuff.
pull this off.
You know. Real
Thanks for
original
taking
shit.
care of Falls End for us.
We gotta get him! Can't leave Merle behind!
Who's Merle? Alright, I'll get in. What are we doing? Let's go. Let's go. Let's... Guys? That's it. I wanna know what live is. I am the ideas guy. We are gonna need a screenwriter who can do a good twist, you know? Oh! That was a fucking thing again. I didn't...
Never really appreciated Falls End until you gave it back.
Innocent civilians should start wearing gigantic fucking hats so I can tell who the civilians are, dummy, and who the enemy are. Hey, look, I saved you though. I'm a hero. Did you hear that? He said I'm a hero. I saved your life. I saved your life. Oh. Range. We need a murdered civilian counter. I think that was the first one, Kyle. Pretty sure that's the first one.
It's Merle! Merle's on the other side!
It's Merle! What the fuck is that? Oh, they're flares. So they made green fire? No, 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 I don't want to... Well, how the fuck do you think we get through there, you dum-dums? Oh, well, this way. I know. Let's fucking go. Uh-oh. 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 Stop dropping missiles! What's your issue? Save Merle. Merle was a dick, he was a racist bastard, right? Uh-oh. Something sees me. Oh, hey guys. New character found. Merle. Is he dead? Is Merle on my side or their side?
These Peggies are really
Oh, it's him.
determined to get us in John's bunker.
Is it now? Should we get in John's bunker?
God damn! Thanks, deputy. I thought I was a goner.
You're alright. That's good.
We've sent in a chopper to pick you up, so just hold your ground until it gets there.
Look! A flare! More Peggy!
Where are these Peggle motherfuckers?
Use the mortar!
Where are they coming from, buddy? Oh, here's one. Okay. This is not terms of... Man, you never know. You can never be too safe. Nice. A small hit. Ugh, get back! You don't know me like that. I should have shot him to be safe, you're right, Kyle. I was being so reckless there. Can you scroll up there? Okay. Oh. Oh shit, hello. Hey. Literally, priest. Could you do a better job at... Oh, fuck me. Yeah, do a better job at fucking me. Get off the goddamn thing! Get off it! You're a good guy, bad guy. Oh, you're a bad guy. What are you doing? Why are you down here? Come on, chopper's here, Merle. You dumb fuck. Let's go. Come, Merlin. I believe that. Did I see a grenade? Go home. Go home, dum-dums. Whew. Hey, buddy. How you doing, Merle? You're in a flame t-shirt. You're a cool dude. Let's carry on. I don't like this window. Can we get rid of it? No. Thanks, Kyle. Pew. Yes. So, smell. Where you come from? Oh, you're talking. Nice.
Saving us. Locked up in a shithole? Get out of here. Those fucking cowards.
Get out of here.
They said they were saving me. Told me to put my trust in the Father. Who the fuck's the Father anyway? They should have put a bullet
He's
in my head.
Joseph.
I was pissed off. Now I'm fucking furious.
Okay. No, why is it going back in the air? Why is it going back in the air? What the fuck there? What the fuck? What the fuck? That's how helicopters work, is it? You. The fuck? The fuck? You, that's not how you land.
People use a drug in all their rituals. They call it the bliss.
Jesus.
How's it going?
I'm gonna see if one of them will drive me again. Whew. Well, that was something. The priest does swear a lot. Yeah, I don't know how committed he is to his causes, you know. Let's go liberate.
Pastor Jerome called us in to make sure you got here safely. Overprotective, I'd say. You can sure take care of yourself.
Yeah, right.
Between you and Merle, I don't know who's tougher to kill.
Me. Merle's a bitch. Let's go. Ouch. I want to see what that sign says. Okay. I want to see. Fine. Fine. We'll go look at what that sign says manually like a goddamn pleb. Bears. Oh no, Wolverines, okay. I'm stuck in another tree. Okay. You got this. No. Keep going. That's right, you got it. That's it. You got this little car. And what about the trees? No one likes forests. That's why they're trying to deforest all the time. Oops. You still got this car. I believe in you. In the woods, nobody can hear the Fizzle's crew. Well, if a bear jumps out, maybe we'll maybe testing that. Hey, run a road.
Kid, you alright? I heard about what happened. Thank God for Jerome.
Get fucked. Uh-oh. No, I need to get out. I need to get out of the vehicle, please. Cling to life. Wait, if my kitty comes by, if my kitty's not dead, he'll come lick me. Lick me back to health, please. Peaches. Peaches, where are you? You're 18 meters away, Peaches. Come on, Peaches, I believe in you. Come, Peaches. That's it, girl. Lick me to health, girl. That's it. Oh, you are a good kitty cat. Where are you? Whoa! I was trying to have a moment with my cat. Where are you? Oh, you're already over here. Hey, you, Peaches. You're a good girl. You saved my life. You're a good little kitty cat. Gonna let her just do her thing for a minute. She's obviously had some fun there. Oh, what's going on here? Wait, oh, what fuck? Little fucking Wolverine shit. Yeah! Fucking took down a cougar? Ferocious little shit. Ah! Yeah. That's right, my cougar learned how to shoot. Who the fuck literally just saved me there? Come, Kit Kat. There was another bullet. A bullet came from somewhere else to kill that thing, but I don't know who did it. Was it you? No, 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 no. What are you doing? That's mine. You're going the wrong way. Oh no, I thought I was going to be able to revive him again. Oh, that caused a bit of lag, I think. God damn it, how does... He looked like a... Seriously, civilians should stop this. They should start wearing much better clothing than what they're currently wearing. Okay, right. I didn't... Oh, come on now. That was... Again, I shot the main guy through the head and it killed the civilian again. What is happening at the moment? Why is everything going crazy? You, please, no, 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 no. Jesse, Jesse.
I heard cultists making a racket at the garage. They gotta be using that place to build up their convoys. So we ought to do something about it.
Agreed. Carry on. He didn't realise I was sabotaging his bike. Four civilians dead, and did that include the one I just blew up there? I think it's a good ratio. I don't know why I don't just use my sniper for that, actually. Oh. Oh, it's a fucking magic one again. Are you dead? Oh no, was it just a normal cougar? Just a dirty looking cougar? Enter. I just hit something. I just hit some sort of animal, I'm sure of it. I never knew quad biking in the woods in America was so dangerous. You know? Colt and the allies are going to unify. You need to die. Oh, that would be a cool twist. Oh, he was a Colt VIP. What a way to go. Whee. We're on a good run here. Oh, shouldn't have said that. These can actually go on water, so watch this. They can't drive in water, but they can go on water like that. Okay. It's not... Oh, it's not Wreckfest? That makes sense. I didn't remember there being as many trees. Wild boar. Have I even killed a boar yet?
Never thought this gun would get to see so much
Hey,
use.
pup. Good boy. Nice. So.
You got the look of a hunter in your eye.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good.
Mainly hunt people.
The way things are going, you gotta be able to fend for yourself.
Yeah, I know, there's lots of bears.
Fucking cult.
The bears keep interrupting my human
Everyone
hunting.
rolled
It's
their
pretty
eyes when
irritating.
They talked about the end of the world. But look around. Might as well be true. Rule of law is dead and gone. There ain't nobody protecting us anymore, so we gotta do it ourselves. Only thing that matters is staying alive and staying fed. Now I got a few things for sale if you're interested.
Talk to my left ear.
Ammo,
Talk to my right
gear.
ear. Talk to my left
Useful
ear.
stuff in times like these. And if you got any animal skins, I'll pay good money for them.
I'm so done talking to you. Please stop.
I'm going out myself.
Press skip.
World's a danger. Get your panties in a twist.
Fuck you telling me not to get my panties in a twist. Talking about shit. Talking about shit. I already know what's going on in the world. I'm living it. Motherfucker. Okay. Let's go. We now own the shovel gun. So, let's get rid of that sniper. Who needs a sniper when you got a shovel gun?
Go out hunting, I'll pay good money for them skins.
Oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Okay. Let's go, Peaches. Oh, I can't wait to shoot this. I don't know what the range is going to be like. Oh, y'all going to enjoy this? Okay, so it's school. Oh yeah, we can definitely shoot some people at school. No. Let's retract that. That was bad taste. I didn't realise. Didn't realise what I was saying. Oh, I do want to get in here though. What's wrong? Oh wow, it's impenetrable. Okay. Well, he's gone. Ow. Ow. That's savage, it shoots him so far.
Glad Pastor Jerome's looking out for you. I ran into this guy out by the lookout tower who says he's on a patriotic tour of America.
Okay, this gun was a good purchase.
Like he didn't even give a shit that the cult was around. If he's not careful, he's gonna get caught.
This is the best gun. Okay. Slam dunk, baby! I feel like we need to climb to the top of this. Huh. I wonder what they're doing. There we go, that's correct. Ow, fuck me. Oh, I think I fucking shot my cat with that one. Oh dear. No, I was trying to find the endgame shit. This is endgame stuff now. I'll just jump on here. I can. Look out! Oh, that wasn't my cat. That was a different Kit Kat. Best parachute ever. Come on, kitty. Come on, Peaches. Oh, Fizzle likes to break stuff. But Honey Penny and Mojo, you must have done something well to get Fizzle's approval. Okay. Let's carry on. You right, Peaches? What's happening to you? What is happening to you? You okay? No, I'm not. Oh, buddy, no. No, calm down. Okay, I can't. Oh no, wrong button, wrong button. I was gonna pick him up and carry him somewhere, but he's not here anymore. Oh. Hey, one of my shovels! Lovely. Obsession of M60. It'd be interesting. It's a lovely day for a possession movie as well. All good possession movies start on a lovely sunny day in a lovely, beautiful grass woodland area with lots of pretty flowers. I can't wait till I get the dog on this. And the bear. The bear should be fun. I can't get him because I know there's a goddamn civilian in there. Oh, I thought I'd hit Kit Kat. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, I forgot I don't have the sniper rifle anymore. I only have one shot on this as well, so I gotta make good use of it. If I could line up a couple of people and try and like take 2 or 3 out in one blow, I think that'd be the optimal thing for this. Pretty good upper body strength. He works out. Dude's all about his confessions, hey? Someone sounds like they're having a lot of fun. Okay, I'm going to take the sniper back for a second because it's going to be a lot more useful. Who did I shoot him? Oh, is it my cat? Am I trying to hurt my cat? Oh, I didn't realise it was rapid fire one. Oh. How did they know I was here? He's dying super slow. Just doing a little double tap on all of them now just to try and be sure. Are they? Oh, damn! That was the most accurate grenade I've ever thrown. Shame about the sniping skills. Oh dear. I'm glad I saw him. Anyone else? Oh, down there? Hmm. Oh, there. Yeah, we don't did it. Thanks for Sunny Penny. I was proud of it, you know. And we get to hear the cool liberation music now as well. We can all chug along with it, as long as it's the right music. There we go. Yeah. Jazz. Whee! Whee! How long is this rope? That long. That long. Okay.
Maybe we can use it to our advantage. Thanks for the hard work, deputy. But if you could do me a favor and
another one.
Tear yourself out a bit before coming back into my church, I'd appreciate it.
Wait, he doesn't want me going to his church now? I didn't even want to go to his church. Stupid redemption of the soul. Who needs that shit?
So my buddy and me are sneaking around the Copperhead train yard, and we saw the cult gathering a ton of metal.
Right.
He sent me to get backup, but he's still there. I hope he doesn't do anything stupid without me.
He's probably dead. I'll go get his body.
Is that artillery?
No. Just thought it'd be pretty. There's no fireworks at the moment, so.
The normal moose ain't easy.
Hey, all.
A crazy one. We got a fucking nightmare moose on our hands.
Ooh, okay.
Gate did something to it.
Got a problem with the moose, eh?
That the damn thing's insane.
I see what we can do about that, eh, bud?
We sent a squad to take it down, but we haven't heard from them since. It needs to be put
A
down.
moose took out their whole squad?
But you need to be ready. The damn thing's a monster.
Oh, yeah. Goddamn moose, I'm sure it's terrifying. It's not like people make cartoons out of how silly they look. Jesus. I need that door to close, I want to get the money. That's right. That's right. Oh, it's Aunt's phone, it's not even money.
Right? Ever since you Peggy's bought this place, things ain't been right. They're putting
That's
shit
money.
in the fertilizer.
They're putting shit in the fertilizer? Oh, what fiends.
Man, this is the most awesome
Back on your
game I've
addiction,
ever
are you?
played.
Back onto his addiction. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember seeing it now. Okay. Elevator going up. This helps you get up quicker if you spin like this, by the way, because it helps push the rotors along a bit quicker. It's modern science. Yeah, it's got a super nice draw distance. Okay. Oh, there's buttons. Auxiliary, so you could listen to your iTouch or whatever it is you're playing music off. Resonator, so you can make it sound like a robot a little bit. Set. I guess that's just to turn it on and off, maybe. And the other ones are nondescript, so they're probably fine. Okay, I don't like this helicopter anymore, let's go. See, I guess one of the reasons why, alright, so let's see what they're saying first.
You're sure to run into some Peggies there, so be careful.
Yeah, if you could have the cat in the helicopter with you, it'd be great if, like, when it jumped out, it, you know, had a little parachute. Can be adorable. Helicopter still not crashed. Where the fuck did it go? Ooh, I wonder if I can fly under the bridge before I hit the water. No, I can't. Ooh, okay. That's a nice little wingsuit. Come here, come here. Let me endanger you. Didn't want to hurt it anyway. I wasn't aiming for it, you know. Is that a pumpkin? Punch! Got it. Get out of here. Get out of here. I knocked its block off. Haunted barn? Okay. Nice car. Explains pumpkins as well, actually. It's electrical discharge, that's spooky. This game does actually remind me a lot of like PUBG. I think it's purely just the fact that it's first person and you're running around fields a lot. This has a bit more payoff though, in my opinion. Here we go. Right, this doesn't really help me get into here. Is that a wolf? So now it's not a wolf. What is it now? Goddamn Wolverine, they're the worst. Get gone. So I feel like... Oh, I didn't want to do that. I didn't even press the thing. I wanted to get in that window. Oh, okay. I need to come up there, jump down onto there, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Oh, get that way. Thought it was sturdy. You any better? No, you lay down, you lay down. Get kicked in a crutch, dummy. Oh wow, look how high you can kick. It's a super high kick. Nice. Enjoying the show, watching everyone in the county territory chopped to pieces. I left some treats at the top of the barn for anyone brave enough to go through my haunted house. Ooh. I'm ready. I think. You guys ready for this? This could get spooky. It's a pre-warning for anybody who doesn't like spooky things. That's a real knife. Oh my god, that's a real laser. Oh my god, real one. Ah! Oh my god, he actually put like dead cult members. Spooky. Too spooky. Ah! You need to hit me. Jeez. You even let him in. That's a nice chair. You okay? Ah! This is terrifying. How does anyone make this through this alive? Oh wait, I know I should be doing that. Oregano. Let's have some oregano. Oh, the music sounds a little different now because he's lean. Oh. Huh. Did you murder him? She looks like Mia from Resident Evil 7. You right? Okay, what's up with Cora? Oh, that's where he's been stabbed. Get out of my way. You too. Okay, you want people to climb in your haunted house? What if they're not able-bodied? That was a terrible haunted house. I wasn't even scared of like more than 12 times. That was a terrible haunted house. The Joker. That cigarette's still lit. They weren't long gone. Oh Jesus. Oh. I think he tied people to here though. I think this is where it got proper grim. Let's just shut this down. Get out of here. You too. Get. Oh, hello. Oh, there's nothing here. Okay. I can't get out of here though. Uh-oh. There we go. Ah! Nice. Okay. Well, now we can actually save here, because we're not on a mission now. Beautiful. I think that's time for another little